Hi everyone, this is Connie from Connie's Creative Creations. Welcome to my channel. If you are new, I'm so glad you're here, and I hope you decide to hit that subscribe button and become part of the family. Also, if you hit the notification bell, click on all, you'll be notified every time I upload, or should every time I upload a video. Also, if you're returning, thank you. I'm so glad and welcome back. Now, let's get right into this project. I love working with wood. It's one of my, well, I can't say it's one of my most favorite, but it's definitely one I really like. I love to work with wood. So I am just cutting these pieces of wood. This was from an old table that was left in my attic when I moved to this house. I'm cutting them. This one, I'm cutting it 15 inches by 10 inches, and so I am just marking it, and this piece of wood right here, I'm just going to cut it in half. Now I'm going to use my table saw, as you can see, and this piece is going to be smaller. This is 15 inches by I think it was 7 inches. I didn't make it any thinner. I liked how thin it was. So I'm just making sure that the blade is right, and I'm going ahead and cutting it straight through there. And then I'm going to grab the other one, and I had to remove the guard because it would be in the way. And I'm just going to hold it as I go straight through, and then I'm going to end up having to cut off some thinner pieces because this wood is too wide. I don't need it to be that wide, so I am just going to mark it at 10 inches because I think it was at 12 inches, and that was just going to be too wide for the project that I'm making. So I'm just going ahead and marking those, making a line, and then I'm going to go over and use the table saw. I am putting up the rip fence so that I can get it right on there. Now I'm going to use my push guide because I don't want to put my hand near that blade. And I'm just taking the second one and just marking it so that I can cut it off as well. And then I thought, oh, that looks too skinny. So I went back to check, and it was, for some reason, I must have somehow messed that up, but I got it. So I went ahead and cut that off. And so then what I'm going to do is set those aside, and I've got some pallet wood that's reclaimed from a pallet, and they're not perfect wood, but they're wood I love to work with. So I'm just trying to get them all fairly close to the same size, but a couple of them taper in, and that's okay. That doesn't change anything about my my design or the finished product. These were my braces. So as I'm working on this, let's get into the information about this collab. It's called What Would You Make? I am one of the hosts. Zana's a host as well. We host together. And then our guest host is Brenda from Rustic and Lace DIY. And Zana's channel is Okay at Home DIY. You'll want to check down in the description box. All of our channel, or their channel links, will be down there, as well as the playlist channel link. So let's get right back into this. Okay, now I'm over by my miter saw, and I am just cutting all the pieces where I had measured them and made sure that they were fairly close to the same. Now, as I was working, I found that some of them were still not quite where I wanted them, and so I took them back over there and cut a little bit more or evened them out. Now I'm using my orbital palm sander, and I am just sanding away at all the edges, as well as you know, the flat sides and all the edges. Okay, now that I am finishing up sanding those, then I will sand the other 3 pieces. Now those are going to be shelves, and the other pieces will be the braces that holds up the shelves. So what I am making is a nail, well, I'll take that back. I'm not making anything to do with nails. What I am making is makeup shelves. So on my makeup table, everything's just sitting around and it's hard to get to, hard to see, a mess. So I'm making these shelves so that I can sit everything on them. I'll be able to see, be able to reach them, much better setup. So once I get this sanded, I'm going to start constructing these shelves and getting them all put together. And I know you can see things flying around. It's the dust or sawdust in the air when I'm sanding. But as I finish this up, then I'm going to start constructing these shelves together. Now I am going to be using 1 1/4 inch star tip or star head screws. I'm using 2 2 drills, one a cordless, and then one that's electrical. And I'm just the cordless one I'm putting in the pilot holes. If you do not put pilot holes in, your wood will split. Unfortunately, that is just what happens. Now, my nails are self-driving, which helps, but as close as I am to the edge of the wood, it will still split. So I am just putting those pieces on, just trying to make sure that they fit and go on there, perfect. So I'm just, like I said, I'm driving the pilot hole in, and then I am going to drive the screw in, and so I can get these shelves up. Now this is the one end. I put 2 braces on it, and then the other side I put 2 braces on it as well. Now I want it to be open at the front and at the sides, and nothing that's going on these shelves are going to be heavy enough that will pull this down. Now if I do start having an issue, I will add braces underneath the other 2 shelves to make sure that they stay, but I don't think that I'm going to. Now you can see where that wood at the top in the center is not together, and that's because there's missing wood off of those pieces. But like I said, it's not going to matter. You're not going to see it unless you're looking for it once this is done. So like I said, I'm driving, doing the pilot holes in, and then driving the screws in. And if I didn't say it before, the screw head, a lot of times people will use a Phillips or a flat tip. This is a star tip. What that does is it keeps it from stripping. There's so many points to it that it goes in a little deeper, and because it's all these different points, it's very, very hard to strip. That's why I love using them, and I use multi-purpose, so I can use them on wood, inside, outside. They don't rust, and so they're like titanium coated, and they don't rust at all. So I don't have those issues with those screws. I can put things outside and they never rust, and I can have stuff inside and no problem. So that is the sole reason why I started using these actual screws, because I just love them. I got so tired of Phillips screw heads stripping, and I would never use flat tip on a building project. But yeah, so that's why I changed. So as you can see, I'm putting this second shelf on. Now, I honestly do not understand the reasoning, but those 2 shelves are set at the exact same place. They're the same exact size, and one's taller. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the aesthetic. This thing turns out beautiful. So I'm going ahead and I'm putting that last shelf on, and then we're going to take it into my craft room so I can paint it. Now I wanted it white because my nail table is white, and I just chose to have it be cohesive, and so I am going to paint it white as well. And I know you can't really see what I'm doing over there, but I'm putting the screws in so that this will be perfect. And yeah, and then I'm just driving some more screws in those other shelves, making sure that they're all tight. I only put two, one in each board, so I was going back for the second one just to make sure that it is completely and properly in. Now that small little shelf, that second brace there, it only touches it a little bit on the corner, so I put a pilot hole in and I started to drive the screw in and it split. Even though I had a pilot hole. So I had to do a second one next to it, and then I had no problems at all. So that was no big deal. But I really enjoyed making this. I love being a part of this collaboration with Zana and all the other crafters that join in with us. It's a very, very enjoyable time for me. I love working with wood. Plus, in a few weeks, I'll be working with wood again for the Power Up collab, and that's another one that I absolutely love. Okay, so this is finished. This part of it, I'm just making sure that everything is in there and screwed in there right. Now we're in my craft room, and I'm using applebarrel white paint, and I am just painting the whole entire piece. Now I am not making I'm not doing the undersides of the shelves. Now I'm not sure, my angle of my camera makes it look like they're downward. They're not. It's an optical illusion with the way my camera's sitting, because they are perfectly, completely level. So I really don't know why it looks that way, but you'll see it when it's finished, that is completely level. Now once I am done painting this, I'm not looking for total coverage perfection, so I didn't go over it a second time. I did if there was wood showing, but mainly I didn't. Now I'm just doing all the edges. I'm not doing the undersides of the shelves. You're not going to be able to see it. When I am done painting this, I do go ahead and put Mod Podge on the top of each shelf so that it gives it like a barrier. So if anything gets on it, I can wash it off very easily and not affect the paint, and stains won't happen on that paint. So like I said, I am just painting away. And here I am finishing up the last little parts of the shelves that was not painted yet. And then, like I said, I'm going to take it into my bedroom. I'll show you what it looks like with nothing on it, and then I'll show you with everything on it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I know a lot of times when I do woodworking videos, I only do one project. I like to put everything towards that project and not compromise on showing you everything that I've been doing. So I hope that you guys have a fantastic day, and don't forget to call somebody and tell them you love them, because it might be exactly what they need to hear today. As well as you guys all have a most blessed day. And see that shelf? Isn't that beautiful? I love it. All right, you guys be the Bible that somebody reads today. Bye.